Good morning, and welcome to this bonus episode of Breath of Fire 4. Here we have our clear data, which we can load, and it'll bring us right back out eventually. Thinking about it. There we go, right outside the castle. So, now that we've beaten the game, there's a couple of new things we can do. First and foremost, if we go back... Not there. Let's see, where are you? No, not over there. If we go to the abandoned village over near Czech. So we'll just travel over to Czech. Yeah. So if we come over here to the abandoned village near Czech, we can now encounter some new friends that were not here before. Now, these guys only appear if you load a clear save. It is a little bit iffy, though, as to whether or not they will appear if you have gotten the bad ending, or if they will only appear if you've gotten the good ending. I'm not 100% certain either way. I'm also curious if we can actually KO these guys now. I don't think we probably can, but I'm tempted to try because they're also a pain in the ass to run away from, so I just kind of want to try. There's a number of things I want to do in this episode. There's an optional super boss, which is just a random encounter, in an optional dungeon that we haven't gone through. So I kind of want to check that out. That random encounter is stronger than Fulu. It's stronger than the final boss, in proper RPG fashion. So, if I do a Meta Strike... Actually, here's what we'll do. Let's do an Inferno. I honestly only want to kill one of these things. I just want to know what I get if I kill one of them. I don't know if I'll get anything in particular, but I'm curious. And I also don't know if I can kill one of them, even with as strong as I currently am. Perhaps through the use of focus and concentrate, I'd be able to really wear one down. The reason why I'm going with Knight instead of Kaiser is because Knight has that defense drop, and I have found it to be a little bit more powerful overall than Kaiser's Breath. However, I don't know if that will be the case now that it's getting spread across multiple enemies rather than hitting one enemy. But we'll see what this does. This might all be... Oh, this is absolutely in vain. Okay. Yeah, this is absolutely in vain. We'll just escape. If they'll let me. No, they're not gonna let me. Of course not. And Ryu will continue to lose MP the entire time. This is also the kind of the reason why I wanted to just try and take one of these guys down, because running away from them is more difficult than it really should be. Oh well. Now there is an additional ending to this game that I want to get as well, but obviously I want to try and do pretty much everything else first. So we'll just run through here. Hopefully we don't get into any more encounters. We got this guy we can talk to. Never imagined I'd find someone selling a treasure in a place like this. Just goes to show how world's a pretty big place. Trade the gold ball for this treasure. There we go. So now we can get the platinum ball. That's the first thing we can do. The second thing we can do is come over here and talk to Ray and Tipo from the third game. They're just kind of making a cameo. He will give me the rusted sword. Well, don't that just beat all? I'll never make any money if you just give things away, Tipo. Told you that I had a lot of neat stuff, didn't I? Me and Ray grabbed that one we bought it from a traveling merchant. Yeah. Alright. And we can also buy things from Ray. He will sell us the Midas armor, which will turn damage received into money. He'll sell us the medallion, which I will go ahead and buy 6 of. Because if you equip it, for each person you equip it to, it has a stacking effect. So it increases attack and reduces defense. And it stacks as you continue to equip it to additional people. However, if you equip it to everyone, then it gets rid of that detriment. So it just becomes better, I think. You can get the King Frog, which I believe can be used for any kind of fish. Toothpick, chopsticks, straw. So really just here for the medallion more than anything else. Now he did give us a new sword, and the sword is very special. I have no interest in equipping it. But we'll take a look at it. The Rusted Sword. It powers up after 1,000 kills. And what that means is you have to equip that sword and kill 1,000 enemies with that sword. When you do that, it will then transform into the Slayer, which is one of Ryu's like 4 or 5 best weapons. But honestly, compared to a lot of the other things you can get with much less work, it is not nearly as good. For example, you can also get the Goo King sword from the Goo Kings when you encounter them, which is a pretty good sword. It kind of loses a lot of luster compared to some of the things you can later get, but especially for the time you can get it, it is a very good sword. More cool, though, is when you are fighting Astral, Fulu's the second fight with Fulu, when you are fighting Astral, you can steal the Royal Sword from him. And then when you're loading your clear save, you can, of course, equip it to Ryu. So if we had done that, we could have the Royal Sword on Ryu, which is like one of his 2 best weapons, frankly. So that would be really good. The Slicer that you can get from, I think they're called the Kolpum, in the final dungeon, is the best weapon for Sias. Hits twice, ignores a large amount of enemy defense, has really high attack. It is Sias's best weapon, and it's like in the top 3, if not top 2 for Ryu as well, frankly. So extremely good sword. But one of the well-established best swords for Ryu is actually available. Well, one of the best available weapons for Ryu you can get from that optional strongest enemy in the game up here in Mukto. Here in Mukto, there is a wall we can break that will lead us to an optional dungeon. And in fighting, going through that optional dungeon, we will then be able to also encounter the strongest enemy in the game. Which means I probably want to get some MP back while I'm thinking about it. And from that strongest enemy in the game, you can steal what is called the Cursed Sword. That sword is Ryu's strongest weapon. However, it does have a detriment. The detriment being that it will take a percentage of your HP every turn. Now, the sword that the Rusted Sword turns into is called the Slayer, I believe. And it will heal you a percentage of the damage you do. So that's very cool. However, it does have a chance of... I'll save over here, why not? It does have a chance of hitting one of your allies instead, unless you're using a skill. If you're using a skill, then it will always work. But your base attack has a chance of hitting an ally instead of an enemy. It'll still heal you. Well, Ryu, anyway. But the thing with the Cursed Sword is that it breaks damage cap. It also heals based off of or it also takes away not max HP, but current HP. And it then applies the HP that it took to the damage. So if you really buff the hell out of Ryu's HP, which is another thing that I completely forgot to do at any point, is use all of these buffing items that I've been collecting throughout the entire game. Let's see. Oh, nice. I know they're here somewhere. Raises resistance to elemental attacks. Well, that's nice and all. Critical hit rate. Fish head. There we go. You can increase wisdom, so let's just buff up Nina's wisdom. You can increase attack. Let's just give that to Ryu. Swallow Eye. Raise agility. I'm not sure who I actually want to give that to. I didn't want help. I wanted to see if there was another way I could look at the stats. Agility is... Oh, why is your agility so much higher than hers? Interesting. Unexpected. I did not expect his agility to be higher than Ursula's. You know what? Screw it. We'll give those to Ursula. Why not? Just have to get back down to them again. Swallow Eye. Yeah, let's give them to Ursula. Why not? Fire Seed. Protein. +1 to defense. We'll give those to Nina. We'll give a couple to Ursula as well. I actually probably should have given Messias. I think he has the least. The life shards are perfect to give to Ryu because he has multiple things that are dependent upon his HP. And this is +1 to AP, which, I mean, we might as well just give them to her. We'll give 2 to Ryu. Why not? All right, cool. So that's very good to have. I was really hoping I could get a Dark Drought. If I did, I would be feeding them to everyone right now. But that's okay. So somewhere in here, we can supposedly break down a wall. It's probably going to be at the end of this little cave, if I had to guess. Because we kind of looked through here earlier, determined that there wasn't anything that we could do. So, if we change out Cray for Urshan. Huh. Ah, there it is. So this will give us an optional dungeon that is just kind of here. So that's neat. We'll switch to her. I'm not terribly interested in trying to find anything in this place. It would be cool to encounter the optional boss. But I'm probably just going to escape from battles as much as I can unless I encounter that optional super enemy. In which case I'm going to throw everything I've got at him because he can easily one-shot the entire party, apparently. So, going to be careful about that. Again, don't really care about the items. Kind of just want to get to the end of this place. I don't think there's going to be anything in here particularly special. Especially well, you know what? Fine, whatever. We're right here. Got some wisdom seeds. Those are always good. I guess if I see a treasure chest, maybe I'll go for it, because that might have something cool. But I don't think we're going to find, like, any neat new equipment or anything. It's just an optional little area that's kind of neat. And I'd rather just show it off than spend too much time on it. Because I do also want to get the other ending to the game in this episode. I just want to do all the things that we missed in this little bonus episode. And I have no idea how long this dungeon actually is. So probably should have figured that out earlier, but we can just blitz it. Got the dragon tier. All right, and that was Fulu's equipment item that completely negates any damage that, or it completely negates status effects. So that's really cool. The God Emperor Fulu, founder of the Fu Empire, was summoned here. So I thought that he was summoned where we fought him, but in reality, this is where he was summoned. So that's interesting. But yeah, that's really all there is to this little place. And there he is, the Rider, a warrior in search of the strongest opponents. We are immediately going to transform into Knight. And let's see, what are we going to do? What else do we want to do here? We'll go ahead and do... Oh, I can't use Celerity. Okay, well, that's fair, I suppose. Okay. What else do I want to hit this guy with? You know what? We'll have Nina go ahead and start up... where is it? Magic damage halved for 3 turns. That also affects my... Doing that, though, however, would also affect healing magic that I would be casting on the group. And we'll cast a shield on the group as well. So we'll go ahead and transform into the Knight, which we did establish was doing the most damage. Now, that might have been because Fulu's dragons that we were fighting all have physical damage resist, so that might be why they were, well, resisting all of our damage from our other people outside of actually using magic on them. So in this case, the Kaiser might actually be stronger. Okay, here's Cleave, which, yeah, does quite a bit of damage. He healed by 20,000 right off the bat. Okay, buddy. I see how this is going to work. So we'll switch in you to go ahead and do not that Inferno. Is that what I want to do? I don't know if that's what I want to do. Cray, go ahead and do a focus. How about that? Then we'll bring in Sias to do a Shining Blade. And no, I don't want Urshan. I want Ryu to stay in here and do a Meta Strike. Because it looks like I'm going to need to hit this guy really hard, really quick. Yeah, that's not going to do it. Let's see how the Meta Strike does, though. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, like, buff everyone with Celerity first, which this is the fight to do that. I might not win this fight, by the way. Just, as a note. Yeah, that's probably not going to work. Let's see how much he heals after this. There goes Sias. Yeah, and there's 20,000. Yeah, okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. We'll try and pilfer from him. We'll try and steal from him. And we'll bring Ursula in to, I don't know, we'll cast Insta-Death. Why not? I doubt it'll work. He probably fully resists it, but might as well try. Primus. Can I learn that, I wonder? Well, it didn't do a whole heck of a lot, so that's useful. Not able to steal. Yeah, I believe Ryu's best weapon, the Cursed Blade, is, I think, a steel item. I don't know if he can drop it or not. I think it might only be steel. But either way, you know, a little rough. Alright, we'll just do this again. We'll try death one more time. After this, focus and concentrate will be fully powered. So we'll see if either one of them is able to do much to this guy. Unfortunately, still not able to get anything. I imagine that he is immune to death, but I don't actually know that for certain. So figured I might as well try it. Although Kyrie, which is a holy-based insta-kill, might actually have been better to use here instead. Alright, well, we'll just do a Shadow Walk. We'll follow that with a Magic Ball? Maybe Oracle. I imagine this guy's a demon, right? And then Norris defense. Don't think I care that much about that. Double blow, why not? We'll just go all melee on this guy. See what happens. Alright, well, unless we can do a lot of damage here in one hit, I don't think we're winning this fight. Well, we did like 13,000. Unfortunately, he's going to fully heal all of that, so it doesn't really matter. Yep. Oh. He missed anyway. Yeah, and there's 20,000 HP. So, yeah, that doesn't quite work. We'll go ahead and just escape. I'm going to need to rest an inn to get my HP back. I'm not that worried about it, frankly. But that's cool. So we got to encounter the secret ultimate boss of the game. There you go. He's just running around here in Mukto. So if you are stealing things like the royal sword from Fulu, this is where you're going to use it. And you can also get Ryu's best weapon from that guy. So, cool stuff. Not going to worry about it too much, though. But I'm just going to work my way back out of here. You know what? I'm here anyway. I might as well. Dynamite. Woo. I think there was another item. Like, yeah, there's one right there. I might as well just go see what it is. Hopefully I don't encounter another rider. If I do encounter more riders, I'm immediately running away. Alright, cool. I mean, I'm immediately running away anyway because I don't care about any of these encounters. There we go. And we'll just go see what this item is, and then I will cut ahead to our next destination. Ah, a couple swallow eyes. Okay. I mean, those are handy. I'll just give them to Ryu, I guess. Buffing the heck out of Ryu is always just a fun thing for me to do in these games. I always enjoy just buffing Ryu as much as humanly possible. But we did get the Platinum Ball, so we can finally finish Marlock as a master. So I will meet you guys at Sinesta. Okay, here we are at Sinesta, so let's go talk to Marlock and get the final move from the last master we have yet to finish off. What do you want? You got a treasure. I'm a busy Manila. Uh-huh. You know what you have here? This is a treasure among treasures. He will teach us roulette. What does it do? A different effect each time. Doesn't work on strong enemies. No thanks. Not that interested. But you will make a good businessman. When you have finished with your travels, come see me again. I'll make you my partner. I'm good. Thanks. Okay. So that will finish off our masters. Now I do kind of want to sleep at an inn. Although, you know, frankly, I'm not that worried about it. Because the only thing we have left to do is to go get the bad ending of the game. Which I will go ahead and camp real quick. I think I want to switch around a master just because I've been thinking about doing it for a while. I guess I could check with the fairies, but I don't really care. They're not going to do anything better for me than they've currently been, so it doesn't matter that much. I want to go ahead and assign... You know what? Screw it. We're going to assign everyone to Bunyan. We're going to make sure that nobody can miss. There we go. Except for Ryu. Ryu will stay on Kirik. Because getting more HP on Ryu is a good plan. There we go. Everyone can just be on Bunyan except for Ryu. Cool. We'll go ahead and rest and save. And then I need to get to Fulu again at the end of the... Well, at the end of the dungeon. So that we can get the final thing left to really see in this game. The bad ending. So I will see you guys there. Well, we just encountered a new enemy. I'm still on my way back to Fulu. Unfortunately, the elevators did not reset, so they were both in the area where we fought Dragon, so I had to walk through the entire first half of the dungeon to get back here. But I'm now in, like, I've gone down the third lift after basement 3, and we've got Titan, a tough monster that gives as well as it takes. So that's neat. I mean, I'm just gonna take it out, but lo and behold, we have yet another enemy that we had not encountered in this place before. Unfortunately, I did manage to actually get the Goo King to fight me. The steal item from a Goo King is just an apple, and if you steal it from them, they get mad, and then they keep fighting you. But they also do a lot more damage when you do that, and seem to take less damage as well. So it's a little bit risky, but it does look like it keeps them in the game. Unfortunately, I was not able to get them to actually drop anything. So that's a little sad. I also fought a number... Oh yeah, his magical ability weakened because he no longer has the shade with him. So he probably has a different drop item now, if I had to guess. It seems like he might be using different skills as well. I don't know. I don't really care that much, frankly. I just kind of want to see the different things he can do. He can do Spirit Blast, so that's pretty cool. That supposedly pierces defense, but I never found it to be actually very strong at all, so I didn't bother. He can drop a Strength Seed, so that's pretty cool. I do need to heal up a little bit, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get the Slicer or the Goo King Sword through any of my encounters through this place. A little unfortunate, but that's okay. If I do get a cool drop, I'll let you know, but otherwise I'm just going to keep working my way to Fulu. Okay, here we go. We're finally back at Fulu again. Now, this is going to involve a long string of cutscenes, so I'm going to skip ahead through this. However, let me tell you how it determines whether you get the good ending or the bad ending. It is entirely determined by the answers you give Fulu as he asks you questions. If you say, I don't think so, or I don't know, when he asks you the questions, you get the good ending. If you answer all of his questions with maybe so, then you get the bad ending. It has nothing to do with anything else in the rest of the entire game. It is just by saying maybe so instead of I don't know. Which both still seem like they're pretty similar to me, but we're just going to go through this. He asks you the question like 3 times, and if you say maybe so all 3 times, apparently that's what gets you the bad ending. So I'm going to speed through this a little bit. Oh! Well, it turns out in this fight, the item you can steal from Fulu is an additional Dragon's Tear. So I now have 2 Dragon's Tears. So that's neat. Okay. Well, I mean, this particular fight is just an Outlast, so yeah, if you steal well, which is entirely not up to you. But if you manage to, within the time frame that the fight gives you, you can steal a Dragon's Tear from this guy. Neat. Again, you won't be able to use it until you're on clear save data, but it's there. Does this actually give me a game over? Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Game, I know you did not just actually game over me right here. Because that means I'm going to have to walk through all of this again. Oh, I don't want to go back all the way through that again. And it's, yeah, and it's an old game, so it doesn't give you an option of just like retrying the fight either. It's reload from last save. I had even thought to myself that I should save before going down the second set of elevators, but I didn't. Well, that's unfortunate. I'll see you guys back at that fight again. Oh man, it's gonna take like another hour to get there. Okay, we're back here again. We'll see if we can steal from him this time. I did go ahead and rest and save at that midway point, which apparently counts as a resting at an inn, because everyone who had their max HP reduced, that detriment stopped being a thing. And we got the Dragon's Tear right away again. Cool. Don't know why I was having such trouble stealing it before, but I was able to steal it now. Alright, well, at this point I just need to survive whiteout, so we'll just defend for a bit and we'll be fine. Then I just need to answer his questions by saying maybe so over and over. So we'll speed things up a little bit here. Alright, maybe so. Maybe so. At least it's always the top option, it seems like. So it's really easy to just spam through and get the bad end. And maybe so. Okay, maybe this is it. Thou knowest in thine heart, dost thou not, Ryu? You can feel Fulu's despair permeating your thoughts. Maybe so. Here we go. So in the good ending, we defeat Fulu, and his soul joins into us. In the bad ending, we give in to Fulu, and our soul joins into his. Ryu? Yes. I am that which was once Ryu. I am also that which was once Fulu. And I am neither. I am. But which one's dominant? Was Ryu absorbed into Fulu? If he was. We won't be letting you get away with what you're planning. If there's even a little of what was once Ryu in you, then there's hope. A futile endeavor. And here we go. The true Kaiser, tyrant, whatever. So, this brings us Infini, which has been in the previous games as well. In Breath of Fire 2 and in 1. In 1, I believe it was called Agony. In 2, it was called Infini. And here it is back in 4. It is the ultimate dragon form. Usually it takes the place of your entire party when you summon it. But we are now fighting against our party members as Infini. Let's take a look, because we can actually take a look at them. The Princess of Windia has become a powerful healer and magic user. Cray, the leader of the Warrens, who sees the world in black and white. Sias, a Ludian mercenary who takes a pragmatic approach to life by drinking a lot. Ursula, is a commander in the Imperial Army who was also influenced by the dragon. Urshan, armor granted sentience by the contact with the goddess Dias. Alright. Now, you can lose this fight, it just gets you a game over. It doesn't do anything special. The bad end is winning this fight. So, let's take a look. We can use our items still. We still have full access to all of our items, which is good because we have no other way of healing. We have Dark Wave. Soul Rend reduces all enemies' HP to 1. Yeah. And now that we're finally whole, we can use both fire and ice. So that's cool. We can't use any of the skills that we gained, but we just have these abilities. I'm going to go ahead and just do that Soul Rend. We'll go ahead, we'll do Dark Wave as well, but we'll do the Soul Rend, see if it works. It probably does, because I don't see any reason to really elongate this fight. Oh, wow. Okay, so it would appear that all of these guys have 999 HP. Or 9,999 HP. Interesting. So they don't have the stats and HP of when they leave your party. They have set stats and abilities, it looks like. So that's neat. Obviously, this is a one-sided beatdown, as you can probably tell. But, yeah. Yeah. And you also full heal at the end of every round. So they literally have to one-shot you. Technically, you can lose this fight. It just gets you a game over. It is very much supposed to be a one-sided beatdown, though. Well, let's see Dark Wave. I believe this is still the ability that Tyrant used, so I don't think it'll be that different, but we might as well watch the animation. Closes his eyes as he watches the world burn. It really does kind of look like a Hex cannon, honestly. And there they go. There's a reason this is the bad ending. Well, Fu Ryu, you have now killed all of your friends. What are you going to do now? I know my path. Oh, they're not even there anymore. He literally erased them. I know my path is the correct path. Okay. Sorry, I had to connect the two sentences in order to make them make sense. And that's it. Kind of leading off with the idea that he probably then goes through to erase the rest of humanity as well, because that was kind of what Fulu had decided was the thing to do. But that is the bad ending for Breath of Fire 4. And that's also the end of this episode and end of this series. We've kind of seen everything that there is to see. Obviously, there's still a bunch of stealable endgame equipment and whatnot. There's that boss fight against the Rider, which isn't really a boss fight, it's just an encounter you can get into. You can encounter multiple of them. But I'm not going to worry too much about that. We kind of hit... I like to show off everything I can with these games, even if it's the first time I've played them. Obviously, if it's the first time I played them, I don't know everything to show off, but, you know, at this point, I think we've hit everything that there is to really see. So, I just want to say thank you all for joining me for this series. It's been a lot of fun. Well, after this, I think we're probably just going to stick with Dragon Warrior Monster and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon for a while until one of those series wraps up. I want to get back to only having 2 series out instead of 3 series out if I can manage it. We will be coming back for the final game in the Breath of Fire anthology, Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter. but I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. I think I'm probably going to, like I said, I'm going to finish out one of the other 2 games first. Then I'll probably have a different series that I'll be recording just to get some backlog in. That'll go up. And after that, I'll probably start recording Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter, which will put an end to this multi-year long anthology of the Breath of Fire series. But again, hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. I know a couple of the episodes really took off for some reason. It's kind of random, but I love this series, so I plan to keep playing it. Heck, I've been starting to replay Breath of Fire 1 again on my own time, just because I love the game. I'm not sure what I'm going to play next, but I'll figure it out. And I will see you guys with more Dragon Warrior Monster 2 and more Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. So I'll see you guys then.